Hey friends, I am Leslie, your Reseller's Passion, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the things that sell on my Etsy store. On a daily basis, I get DMs and posts. People ask me questions about Etsy and vintage and what sells. So I figured I would make it fun and show you what's been selling the last 2 months in my Etsy store. It's not really like a what sold. I'm not going to give you prices or anything. I just wanted to do it to give you an idea of what kind of items you could possibly sell on Etsy. And hopefully it will help you to make some decisions when you're outsourcing, doing a little bit more research on Etsy. I do have a video. I'll leave that video in the link on how to sell on Etsy because I sell handmade and vintage. But hopefully this video will lay the foundation for you to get started on some things for your vintage store. So this is a Betsey Johnson mini dress. I didn't know that Betsey Johnson sold things way back in the 80s and 90s until I got this dress and started doing a little research. And sometimes I think I underpriced, but it's okay. I got $26 for it. As soon as I listed it, it was a lot of interest on this dress. I currently have another top of hers that is getting a lot of interest. It hasn't sold yet, but that's okay. I'll probably renew it and see if it'll sell soon. It's long sleeve and it's like a baby doll top. But this dress was really cute. It has a halter and it ties in the back, and I like the pattern. Wish I could fit it, but I can't. So this Betsey Johnson dress is one of those things that sold. Okay, this next item is a London Fog 90s trench coat. I actually had it for a while, for about 2 years actually. It was originally for sale on my eBay store, but then I closed my eBay store and I instantly put it for sale on my Etsy store. So it's been sitting in Etsy for about a year and I just recently renewed it. Etsy has a feature where you can renew it for 20 cents, and a week after I renewed it, it sold. So that was really exciting. My most exciting sale to date was my Tiaras Swarovski Rhinstone clutch that I got from my Jomar vintage handbag box. Super exciting. I've been loving Jomar for all the vintage. I'll leave a link below. I'm a Jomar affiliate. You can use it to get 10%, whether it be vintage or current items, but I love all their vintage. I have not been disappointed. A lot of items that I am selling in terms of clothes have come from my vintage boxes from Jomar, but this clutch was amazing. I've sold a couple other bags, but the clutch, I knew right away that it was going to sell, and it sold for $150. So I'm super excited about that. Okay, this next item is not even clothing. It is an Aladdin glass food thermos. It has a little spoon on the side, so the workers, the construction workers, they take this thermos to work. It's hot on the inside and they can eat soup out of it, or, beef stew or something like that. So that was an interesting sell. It was really exciting to sell that. Okay, this item is a Hornet plastic recorder. I think it is probably 20 years old. I actually sold it for $30. The reason I'm telling you the price on some of the items, because I'm so surprised at the prices that they're going for. I did do research, I did comps, and of course, since vintage is kind of new to me and I'm playing around, I said, let me put it for $30, and it sold within a couple days. So that was really exciting, this Hornet recorder. This item reminds me of Jackie O, Jackie Kennedy. It is a Peggy Jennings blazer. It is really cute. I've actually had it for 2 years. I originally had it for sale in my Poshmark closet, and it's set and set and set. I recently listed it on my Etsy store and it sold immediately. So that was like exciting, this Peggy Jennings blazer. This item is it is an MI Hummel plate. Plates seem to sell very well, these vintage plates. It's one plate. I'm going to show you another one, but the cute little pattern with the children. I love the MI Hummel. I have a bunch of them over there. They're all listed in my Etsy store. So they seem to sell better individually than they do as sets. So I was selling them as sets for a while, and it was such a relief not to sell them as a set because I was thinking about, wow, the shipping and could I package them and everything. So I've sold several of these plates. I'm just showing you what's been selling recently so that I didn't have to go all the way back. But yes, this MI Hummel plate. I sold this Army combat hat. I don't even remember where I got it from. I'm thinking, oh, now I do remember. Look at that. Thomas came across all these hats that someone had given him, and he told me that I could go through and pick out what I want. I picked out several baseball caps, but this particular Army hat with the star, and then I realized that it was, I think, a Mexican cap. So I actually sold it on Etsy to someone who lives in Mexico. So it was like, I got it for free and I sold it for $25. One of my favorite vintage sells was this Rubbermaid plastic lunchbox. I found this probably about 8 months ago in a Goodwill retail store, and I think it was $2.99. Let me see. I don't have the price in which I sold it for, but I think I sold it for about $30 in my Etsy store. So that was a great, return of investment. Something exciting also, read and hear books. These books are 1950. I'd gone to the Goodwill outlet, better known as the Bins, in April before we were in lockdown, April 2020, and in a box was all of these read and hear. So read and hear is the book, and then it has the record, or 45, inside with it, inside of a sleeve. So these sold. I was super excited. I have more. I've been slow to list them, so I think I'm going to do it over the holiday, but these things sell very well. So these read and hear books, 1952, amazing. I sold this great leather Grand Lion wallet. I was on Mercari looking for some vintage things at the beginning of the year when I started really getting deeper into vintage, and I was searching in Mercari. I had like a $25 coupon or something for listing. So I figured I would use my coupon on something worthwhile, and I went in and found this wallet. And the amazing thing is the wallet was only $5 on Mercari, and I turned around and listed it on Etsy and sold it for $50. So just a little tiny wallet, as you can see from the photo. So another item from my Jomar vintage box, these great plaid Gap pants. They're from like 1990s, and they were cool. They came with a top, but I decided to sell the set separately because I had them listed for about 3 weeks with the top, and they weren't selling. And as soon as I separated them, the pants sold right away. So these are, Gap summer plaid pants. This blazer is absolutely one of my favorite. I wish that I could fit it. Then again, I don't because I probably wouldn't have sold it, but it is Young Gallery blazer. This is another item that I sourced actually from Vinted, which is another reselling site. Some people sell their things a little bit more inexpensively, and it was a young lady who I was buying things from her quite often, and I was getting too many things after a while, so I started specifically looking for vintage. I don't know why. I purchased it. I've had it for 2 years. It was sitting in my Poshmark store and in my eBay, and when I listed it on my Etsy vintage store, it sold, and I sold it for $55. I originally had this for sale for $25 on Poshmark. Amazing, isn't it? This jacket is an iCat printed jacket. It's some type of like tribal jacket. It had damage. It had like it did have holes and things in it, but I knew it was unique when I saw it. It came in my Jomar vintage box. I put in my description everything that was wrong with the jacket, took pictures of everything, and it sold within 2 days of me listing it. And I think I sold it for $32. So it's amazing. So the person did know everything that was wrong with it, but the jacket was so unique. If you saw it up close, you just knew right away that it was a keeper. This Pendleton plaid button-down shirt sold literally in 24 hours that I listed it. It was another shirt that came in my Jomar vintage box, and it sold. It's a small, and it sold literally the next day. All I had to do was take my sweater shaver and shave it a little bit and give it like a nice little look, bring it back to life, and there you go. This jacket was a lot of fun. It is called Sugar Street Weaver's Quilted Jacket. That's a mouthful, isn't it? But the pattern itself with the rooster and the peaches and everything, it was amazing. And I knew that it would sell. So it sold within 2 days of me listing it. Another jacket that came from my Jomar's vintage box. Jomar has been a saver for me because I don't have to do a whole lot of sourcing in terms of vintage. So what I get, and I get 20, 25 items in a box, and 5 items may pay for the whole box. Sometimes I've had, well, that Swarovski clutch that I got paid for the whole box of bags, like actually 2 bags, because I think they were for $54.99 for 15 vintage bags. So it's just a wonderful thing that so many surprises that are coming, but this jacket was even more surprising. And this is a house dress. It is a Serenity house. It was my most recent sell. I actually just shipped it off today, so that's exciting. You know, house dresses that people wear. My friend C still wears house dresses, you know, just something that, you know, some people call them moo-moos or whatever. So that was exciting. This vintage pretty, you know, pink Serenity house. I sold these great Biltrite work boots, and I sold them for $79. I've had them for 2 years. I had them listed in Poshmark, and I had them listed in eBay as well, but then of course I closed my eBay and I took them off Poshmark, and I had been holding on to them for about 5 months, and I literally just listed them again a few days ago, and they sold the next day. So I shipped those off yesterday, which was no, 2 days ago, which was a Monday. They sold over the weekend. And so those particular boots are like beat up workbook boots, and I talk about this a lot when it comes to vintage items. Some people want to clean things up or whatever. Now you want to make sure they're clean, like it's not like dirt caked all over, but people want that natural look because that's what they're looking for. It could be either they're going to wear it or it's going to be a collector item. So with vintage, you really have to think about how much treatment you're going to give to it. If you do too much, it defeats the purpose of the vintagey look. So really do your research, go online and see what the items look like. Those boots were literally from like 1970 or something. So I wanted to make sure the person could see that I didn't do a lot. I cleaned them off a little bit, but for the most part, I shipped them out the way that they were when I got them. Okay, this dress was an ultimate surprise. It came out of my last Jomar vintage box. It was a Goldworm, was the name of the brand, pretty dress. And when I started researching, I was like, wow, the dresses were going for like $110 or more. So I just kind of stuck a bottom line and went with $90, and it sold within 3 days on Etsy. And I also had it listed on Poshmark as well. So I was super excited, and the pattern is just amazing. This dress was an Adrian Propel, and then of course you can see it has like a zebra print. Someone sent me a message and wanted the bust measurements because I did have the armpit and the length and everything. And as soon as I sent the message back with the bust, they literally purchased the dress right away. So that was exciting. So another plate is a Chantel Paulin plate. Super cute with the girls on the front. These plates are like amazing. And I think if you can find them, definitely look them up, especially you can see the date on the bottom, the signature on the back for the artist, and just do some research. I have several again, and they sell not right away, but eventually they sell, especially if someone's trying to complete their collection. So if you're out and about and you see this type of plate, definitely go for it. Such a fun sell. I sold this 2000 Sears Millennial Bear. So comfortable and cuddly. I was excited. I originally had it again sold on my eBay store as so many other items that I had, and this sold on Etsy. So I was super excited for that sell, and look how cuddly he looks. Hey friends, I hope you like this video. If you're interested in seeing more like this, of basically giving you an idea of what's sold, it won't be this is what it sold for and all of that, but it will just give you an idea of some of the things that I'm selling either on my vintage Etsy store, my handmade Etsy store, or any of my other stores, my Depop. I will throw some things up for you just to get an idea. So if you like this video, consider giving me a thumbs up and subscribing, and hitting that bell for a reminder, and also consider hitting that join button on the desktop or Android and joining my membership group where you'll get a lot of perks. Check it out. Hope to see you there.